graciously accepted to be the presidential ambassador to lead the campaign on behalf of all of us in Nigeria. So today we are coming to visit Baba, a courtesy visit, to thank him for still doing what we know him to do very well, putting Nigeria first, in particular the health of our women in Nigeria. I think Baba deserves a round of applause. Along with me today, we have other global ambassadors. I have the president of the stock exchange, Mr. Abimbola. We have also myself, also a global ambassador, already introduced Senator Tejuoso. Thank you. We also have Her Excellency Dr. Bagudu, the First Lady of Kebbi State. She's the one waving to Baba on the Zoom. Dr. Bagudu. She was on her way yesterday, but logistics did not make it happen. So apologies on her behalf. We also have our ambassadors here today, representing LISDEL, which is a legislative initiative for sustainable development. This is Julia Aribo. And we also have today on our side, Roche, represented by their country head of West Africa, Mr. Taufik Onuruko. And sitting next to Baba on both sides, the commissioners for health in both Ogun State and Lagos State. I have Professor Abayomi to your left, Baba, Lagos State Commissioner of Health. Jesus, and to Baba's right is our host commissioner, Commissioner of Health, Ogun State, Dr. Toby Kuka, who is also a gynecologist, and also today we have confirmed her as a partner for this particular campaign. Accompanying the Commissioner from Lagos, we have Mr. Dr. Olamide Ogunbanjo. Baba, we know you have another appointment shortly, so we'll be very brief. The Cervical Cancer-Free Nigeria campaign is basically more of advocacy, because cervical cancer is the only cancer that can be prevented so far if our girls can be vaccinated at the right time. We expect the girls to be vaccinated before the age of 15. And to achieve this, we need a lot of campaign. We need a lot of funding to get the vaccines to Nigeria. We need commitment from government, commitment from the public, commitment from the traditional institution. Because we know what the word vaccine is causing this day because of what is happening with COVID. Unfortunately, it is not only COVID vaccine that is urgently needed. We also need vaccine to eradicate cervical cancer in our girls and our women. Today, we have about 8,000 women dying yearly from cervical cancer. And the vaccination of our girls is not the only intervention that is needed, because unfortunately the men are also carriers of the virus that causes this cancer. So it has been introduced that there should be vaccination of even our boys so that they will not be transmitted to our girls. even though the boys are not affected by the virus, but their transmission to the girls is what is deadly. With the short remarks, I would like to invite my colleague, Otuba Abimbola Ogunbanjo, for his brief summary.
Whilst we are in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, we cannot afford to neglect other health priorities like cervical cancer, especially when they're easy to solve with the vaccination. The vaccine has existed for more than 15 years and has become a standard routine vaccine in many countries. To date, more than 270 million doses of the vaccine has been distributed worldwide. It's time-tested, it's effective, and most importantly, it is safe. So whilst the COVID pandemic may seem like a challenge for the CCFN campaign, it actually offers us a unique opportunity. There is a synergistic potential of combating both COVID-19 and cervical cancer in tandem. I'm sure our Honorable Commissioner here, Dr. Bayami, can testify to that when he takes the floor. However, having said that, vaccine hesitancy is a serious issue that threatens the success of any vaccine campaign, whether for COVID-19 or HPV. But we can combat misinformation and stigma around vaccines in general using creative and innovative educational tools, such as the one that has been presented all around, the Dr. Obi comic book. Cervical cancer elimination is possible, but we need to be bold and decisive by ensuring both supply of and demand of the vaccine is available in Nigeria. As the chairman of the Nigerian Exchange Group, I know a little bit about investments. The vaccination, the HPV vaccine, is an investment that will more than pay for itself. Though the initial cost may seem relatively high, I'm confident that together with other stakeholders, we can find a way to finance this life-saving vaccine so that Nigeria can reap the manifold benefits, social, cultural, and economic for generations to come. We need stakeholders from all sectors, public, private, and civil, to join us in this fight, to work toward a future when no Nigerian daughter, mother, or sister dies from cervical cancer. We cannot achieve this ambitious goal alone. Therefore, we are thankful for the partnership of Global Oncology. Global Oncology, also known as GO, is an influential US-based non-profit whose mission is to bring the best in cancer care and education to undeserved communities worldwide. As my brother, Senator Tejuoso said, Global Oncology co-leads the Cervical Cancer-Free Nigeria campaign with LISDEL. LISDEL is the Legislative Advocacy Initiative for Sustainable Development, which is championed by Senator Tejuoso and ably represented also by Ms. Juliana Aribo Abude. Now, GEO leverages a strong international network with leadership from top universities and cancer centers in the United States, including Stanford, Harvard University, University of California in San Francisco. And they have substantial expertise in building the capacity of health systems to deliver high-quality cancer care. They also do have expertise in designing innovative educational tools to teach patients, families, and the lay public about cancer prevention and treatment, such as the GEO comic book, which I showed you earlier. And this book, I might add, has been distributed to over 5,000 children in 12 schools in Nigeria. The book has also been converted into a lively animatic video. So while GEO's work combating cancer has brought them around the world in recent years, they have built strong ties in Nigeria and have played a role in assisting with Nigeria's cancer control planning and cancer care provision since 2016. Whilst the introduction of the HPV vaccine has been understandably delayed due to COVID-19 pandemic, the CCF campaign is committed to keeping cervical cancer elimination a priority and helping to achieve national-scale HPV vaccine procurement. We feel that it is within reach to target initiation of a nationwide HPV vaccination campaign by the end of 2022. We know that it will take a multifaceted approach to achieve this goal, including extensive public-private partnerships, participation and support of the Nigerian public, including the health, education, and faith-based sectors, and the partnership of pharmaceutical industries such as Roche, and I was a former chairman of Roche, by the way. Yes. And the partnership of pharmaceutical industries and international vaccine agencies. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to partner with His Excellency, President Obasanjo, distinguished Senator Tejuoso, Her Excellency Dr. Shinkafi-Bagudu, our partners at Global Oncology, as well as our other CCFN ambassadors in this urgent and critical effort. We have a once-in-a-lifetime golden opportunity to support efforts to improve the health of Nigerian women and girls by working towards elimination of cervical cancer. On my part, as President of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, I pledge to use the platform of that large capital market to raise and advocate for capital raising for cervical cancer in Nigeria. Thank you.
As a gynecologist myself, I feel very privileged to be part of this inaugural meeting, having been in climes where cervical cancer has a structured approach, and this vaccine has been in existence. As Senator Tejuoso mentioned, cervical cancer is preventable. 99% of cervical cancer is caused by HPV virus. And if we can immunize our women and children before their sexual debut, we can then prevent 99% of this cancer. At the moment in Nigeria, cervical cancer is the second commonest
Your Excellency, the distinguished and my colleagues, our dear father, His Excellency President Obasanjo, I'd like to wish you all a very good morning and thank you for joining this very important meeting. First of all, I'd like to thank our father for assuming the presidential advocate for the hope that is very close to my heart. I'm not sure where, but this is something that we have been working on for almost 20 years now. It is a cause that we can easily get to the end of. And I know that with your voice, with your passion, you will be able to help us achieve a lot of leverage and miles in this fight. In particular, we are keen to have our Nigerian girls start to receive the HPV vaccine. The vaccine is readily available. It's just that there are some supply issues, but we know that there are new products coming onto the market. And with your famous powers and ability to negotiate international partners, we hope that you will help us and you will be negotiating with the new manufacturers, particularly Chinese manufacturers, so that Nigeria and Nigerian girls can benefit from this opportunity. I know that it's not a technical meeting, so I don't know if I'll be able to make this effectively. This is why I just jumped in on it, but I will personally come and review myself in order and hope that you will grant me the audience where we can speak some more about this issue. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Senator Tejuoso, and all the other distinguished colleagues online from both Nigeria and abroad. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Excellency, President of Nigeria. Indeed, I'm very happy that you're taking on this agenda because people listen to you. And I'm delighted to be here. And thank you to Dr. Tejuoso for making it possible for me to be here. And to my counterparts, Dr. Tony Coker, who've been battling together for the past almost 18 months. The first index case of COVID was a joint effort between Lagos State and Ogun State. I remember very clearly the night we brought him to Lagos. We spent almost the whole night in Lagos trying to figure out what to do with the advent of COVID. It was certainly a momentous occasion, and it hasn't stopped since then. But we're talking about cervical cancer today, and I'm glad that we are once again collaborating, Lagos State and Ogun State. If I may just say, we keep using the word biosecurity, and cervical cancer is actually caused by an infection, the human papillomavirus, very similar to COVID. It is also sexually transmitted, and therefore we can imagine it spreads very quickly, it's hard to detect. And so something that spreads and causes cancer, particularly in our mothers, is a very severe biosecurity threat to the environment. In fact, cervical cancer causes more death than COVID. And yet the whole world is focused on COVID. But, cervical cancer is a slow death. It's a painful death. It has disruptive elements. You can imagine a mother contracting cervical cancer and dying. It destroys the entire family unit. So the consequences of cervical cancer and its impact are very, very severe and huge. Now, just like COVID, let us remember that human papillomavirus has many variants. And we're talking about variants in COVID. Everybody knows about alpha, beta, delta variant in COVID. Cervical cancer, similarly, the HPV virus has multiple variants. And I would like His Excellency to urge our scientists in Nigeria to carry out the research, to look at what's happening in our environment, which variants are causing the problem, and then to be part of the innovation pipeline. We are talking about Nigeria contributing to vaccine technology and vaccine development. You can only develop a vaccine that is effective if you know the strains that are circulating in your environment, sir. And so we have a representative of big pharmaceutical companies here. It is not enough for the developed world to come and impose vaccines on us in Africa. We must be part of the discussion. We must be part of the research. We must contribute to the innovation pipeline that is appropriate and relevant to our environment. If we are using the wrong vaccines and different strains are circulating in Nigeria, my colleague, Dr. Boka, knows that those vaccines will be ineffective. So, Baba, if you can please implore our scientists here to pay attention to this severe biosecurity threat that is affecting our women, disrupting our families. It is one of those cancers that you can easily see and access. You don't have to do an operation to see cervical cancer in a woman. And it can be easily treated. So apart from prevention, we need to develop in our medical facilities the ability to diagnose it early. Because even after we failed to prevent it, if we diagnose it early, we can still cure it, and very easily and very simply. So on that note, I don't think that in a country like Nigeria, any woman should be succumbing to cervical cancer. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
She's all the way in California in the United States and would have been here but for circumstances beyond everybody's control. But at this time, Dr. Amy Party. Dr. Amy Party of the Stanford University. Please report yours. Amy, you can speak now.
Good morning. And for us here, it is late in the evening. Yes, President Obasanjo. It is my honor on this momentous occasion. My name is Dr. Zainab, and I am a professor at Stanford University. I am also the co-founder of the organization Global Oncology, which is co-sponsoring the Cervical Cancer-Free Nigeria initiative. I'm grateful that you have agreed to join this very important effort, lending your respected voice, your tireless energy, and your deep wisdom to this pressing health issue. As Dr. Bagudu mentioned, we have an important opportunity to improve the health of girls and women in Nigeria by securing the supply of the HPV vaccine, ensuring that it is distributed equally and equitably and widely across the country, and making sure that our Nigerian brothers and sisters are well educated about the vaccine safety and effectiveness as a preventive for systemic disease. I regret that my colleagues and I were unable to travel to join you today due to present world circumstances. We are very, very eager to meet you and your team and to aid you in any way that we can as we try to address this important issue together. With your support, your encouragement, your wisdom, and your advice, there is no doubt that we will succeed with our ambitious but achievable goal of ensuring that this vaccination campaign gets off to a very successful start by 2022. Thank you once again.
In our culture, once you have spoken, nobody speaks afterwards. So I'm thanking you in advance, Mr. President, for all you have been doing, all you told me you are going to do, and I told them, which we are all grateful for. Your name alone associated with this campaign, without you seeing anything, to go miles and will achieve a lot for this country. We already prepared a special award to be presented today. Was supposed to be coming in from California, but unfortunately the professor would not make it for today. But we shall come back to present that officially. But just again, Your Excellency, I will present this comic as a symbol of your appointment as the presidential ambassador of the global oncology. Baba, thank you so much. Congratulations, Baba.
Please. I think now. Yes. Master of ceremony.
Sir.
I can now.
Yes, sir.
The First Lady. I want to say now, I want to thank you most sincerely for being here with us and for the encouraging remark you have made. And I hope you will keep with us for today, and you will, of course, continue to keep with us. I hope you keep with us for today, and you will continue to keep with us throughout our journey on this worthwhile cause. Let me welcome and thank the two commissioners, the Commissioner of Health from Lagos State, Professor Bella, and my sister, my daughter, the Commissioner of Health from Ogun State, Let me also welcome and thank my colleagues who are also ambassadors and who have accepted the responsibility that being ambassador entails in this particular sphere. Let me especially thank Senator Lanre Tejuoso. Let me thank him for a number of things. Let me thank him for being my senator sometime in the past. That is our service. That will still be our service. Let me thank him for what he's doing now as the chairman of Council of Lagos State. But particularly, let me thank him for this effort to eradicate cervical cancer. And when he came to me and invited me to be an ambassador, and I said to him that one of the things that I've never been lucky to be in my life is to be an ambassador, representing my country anywhere in the world. But now that you have kindly made me an ambassador, will that entail my being addressed, Your Excellency? And he couldn't answer that question. But I want to thank all of you that in the midst of what we think is the most engaging and the most important health hazard at this point in time, COVID-19, which tend to make us ignore or neglect or put aside other important health challenges that should engage our attention. I thank you that you did not allow cervical cancer to be ignored, to be neglected, to be shunted aside. Because, as we have heard, is the second killer disease for our women. When I was invited for this, the first thing that gladdened my heart is that it can be eradicated. But I have even heard from Professor Abeokuta that it can even be treated. And what comes to my mind is how we have eradicated smallpox, and how I believe we are now on the verge of eradicating polio. I think these two are good examples of what can be done with any disease that is communicable and which can be prevented. And of course, that is also what we are trying to do with polio. That you can be vaccinated and not get affected or infected. So the first thing, I believe the good news, which we have to propagate, and you said our first responsibility is advocacy, is that yet this is a disease that can kill and that is killing, that is a killer disease, but it can be prevented. That is important. The vaccine, which you call HPV, is available, and we are told it has been available for more than 15 years. Once you came to me, I did not know of its availability. Now that you have made me to know of its availability, I will be one of the carriers of the availability every day. Because if people do not know, they die in ignorance. And ignorance is a great killer. But if they know, and they do not take the measure that should prevent or that should cure them, they do not die in ignorance, they die in neglect. So the next thing is, if the vaccine is available, and we know it is available, is it accessible? And if it's accessible, is it affordable? And these are issues that, again, we have. Government, the Commissioner for State, Commissioner for Health for State, made an important point that the starting point should be a policy at the national level and at the state level. If it wasn't, the person was not there when I was in government. If it was not the problem. Because then we will have had a policy. And now we should appeal to governments at national and state level to have a policy for this particular type of cancer, which is eradicable, which is preventable, and which is treatable. That was the part of our responsibility as ambassador. And how do we get all these 3 or 4 points that are important: availability, accessibility, and affordability? How do we get? I would want to go back to polio. That polio was not left to government alone. But the first point that was made was policy. Government had a policy. And government, as Senator Tejuoso said, government used all the available means, traditional rulers, native doctors, or women, community leaders, civil society, development partners, private sector, every source, the manufacturers of vaccines. We use all the available resources to get, and what is that? Is it the Rotary that took on the Rotary took on the fight of the struggle to combat and make sure the policies. Maybe we need to do that in addition to what we are doing, both internationally and nationally. Get charity organization that will spearhead, and we, the ambassadors, no matter where we are, we join on the part of this. But what gladdens my heart again is that this is not a disease that is racially or regionally based or bound, like malaria. And the reason why we haven't achieved as much progress as we should have achieved by malaria is that is only located to our own part of the world. If it something that affects the temperate zone of the world, just like COVID-19, I think there will have been more serious thing about it. Dr. Abayomi was talking about research. How long does it take for the world to get vaccine for COVID-19? Less than a year. And mosquito have been
Forever. Forever.
But this one, since it affects black and white and yellow, I think now we alone it affects all women. Good. Then they will make sure that whatever research we are making is concentrated and is focused on women all over the world. And this is where our own scientists have their own role to play. Because there may be variant that is particular to our own area. And if that is the case, we have to get a vaccine that will deal with our own variant of this virus. The cervical cancer virus. I want to thank the global coverage for the role they have played and the role they continue to play. And Senator Tejuoso, let them know that you have said we are in Nigeria, not people from Basket, and we are ready to work with them. I think you put it right, that we need demand and supply. We know that this is a disease that is rampant. And so the demand is there. It's just a question of making sure that we carry out advocacy to make that demand known and let people who really need it come out and be ready. That when the demand comes rolling down, will there be supply? And we have to begin taking care of supply. And that's what I have said earlier on, that supply will make availability, accessibility, and affordability will take care of that. And it has to be government policy, government encouragement is what we need. And in other areas, and we have to also emphasize that these vaccines are available. It has no detrimental after effect, and it does not prevent any young man or young girl from having children. We had a debacle with polio, when everything was going right, and suddenly somebody came up and said, the polio vaccine will reduce our population. And it struck dead. And we have to do a lot of things, going to those who manufacture, those who Islamic countries and all that. So this particular campaign started from Canada. Then it set us back. We shouldn't allow that. But whatever we do in this, we should make it clear that it is free of any adverse side effect. And in fact, rather than stop children production, so we will encourage it. And encourage it and make that we pay attention to what we can achieve. Now, I believe that my own duty has been cut for me by Professor Baramia, my own commissioner, and Senator Tejuoso. First, wherever I go now, I will talk about cervical cancer. I was talking to Senator Tejuoso earlier this morning about Gabi, and he reminded me that Gabi was a collection of those who with their efforts together internationally for providing vaccines. And I said, yes, I know about it. Particularly this one started during the HIV AIDS. And it started when I called a summit, HIV AIDS summit in Abuja. And late Obianon, who was then the Secretary General of the United Nations, came and proposed that there should be a global fund. And my brother and friend, President George Bush, launched that fund. And when he was launching it, he invited me to the house. And I was there with him. He is still interested in vaccination, not only for HIV, AIDS, but also for cervical cancer. Whenever I go to the US, I have a meeting. And we will continue to work together as we have worked together. Fortunately, he's a retired president. I'm a retired president. Both of us have no job. Let me say that whatever we do, we need your assistance. We need your support. We cannot do it alone because it is when we all work together, all hands on deck, that we can achieve what we need to achieve. And I do hope that in our policy and whatever we do, we will also have a timeline, something that will give us incentive to say, well, we want to achieve this at such and such a time. And then we move on to that. Well, it means for me now to thank all. I really appreciate it. I see it as a responsibility that we should take very seriously. If we can save one life by the action we take, then it's good.